What's up, guys? It's Chelsea Navy, CXN Marketing, or just Chelsea. And today I'm outside on a lovely walk. I am here to answer kind of the number one question that I received in my Discord. If you guys aren't in the Discord, make sure you guys join up. We're in there, we're chatting, we're sharing our wins, we're sharing tips and tricks, and we're just having a good time in there. So, the number one question that I get is like, how I landed my first client. I feel like a lot of people struggle with landing and getting their first client. So I'm going to show you guys kind of the 4-step process that I did to get me to my first client. And it was really simple, really easy. I would say if you're starting from scratch, dedicate at least 60 days. 60 days to really learn and really lock yourself in and get to where you want to be. And in 60 days, you will have your first client, if not many more. So, step number one is to build your personal brand. And by that, I mean establishing who you are as a brand, establishing yourself that where when someone hears your name, they think, all right, yeah, this is the person that does brand scaling or digital marketing or anything of that nature. So you want to kind of make sure that you have and come up with a name that kind of rings bells and that will definitely click. For example, Brett Scales. Everyone knows Brett Scales. You hear his name, you know exactly what he does. He's established a name for himself that kind of just clicks. So you want to make sure you're doing the same thing. Also, build up your social media profile. You don't need a bunch of followers, but definitely have some photos, have some interactive posts. I'm a firm believer of like putting a face behind the name. Always making sure that you have a nice, clear, clean photo. If you have a certain aesthetic, postings of your aesthetic, things like that. When you have prospective clients, make sure they have something to like refer back to so they can like see who you are pretty much. So keep a nice, clean profile, short and sweet, simple bio describing what you're doing and what you can offer for folks. The next thing you want to do is to be your own case study. So a lot of people don't think about this. They think that they have to go right into getting clients and, clients essentially being strangers or whatever, but you can be your own case study. What I did like this is I pretty much just made like a flyer of myself, my brand, my services, and what I offer. And I posted that to the meta and literally like ran my own meta ads for myself. Not only was that easy for me to gauge kind of my skill set, what I can and can't do, but also allowed me to build a case study and get those numbers and also get me clients as well. So it's kind of like, yeah, you're your own case study, but you're also still benefiting yourself by getting yourself clients and getting numbers to kind of read off of. Um, Also, it's easier to kind of start with yourself because if you make those mistakes, they're a lot easier to adjust compared to having a client who might not be as might not be like as satisfied with you making a mistake and having to go back and fix it and not getting them their results. If you have your own case study, you can kind of make your own mistakes and fix and tweak your own mistakes accordingly. So after you've done that, after you've established your brand, your personal brand, and kind of ran yourself as a case study for a few weeks, then I would say look for friends and family who own businesses, whether it's a family member, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family friend. We all know someone who owns a business, whether big or small, whether they are selling products or offering services. We know someone. Kind of tell them, hey, look, I'm looking to start doing X, Y, and Z. I want to get into brand marketing. I think your brand will be a really good one to start off with. Let's work something out. Sit them down, tell them what you offer, show them your own case study that you built from yourself, and kind of just take it from there. And that's exactly what I did. I found a family friend that had a business, and I was like, hey, I'm starting this. I see you have your business. Can I, let me try this out with you. I'm pretty confident in my capabilities and what I can do. And in 3 weeks, I served them the results. And I ended up closing that client for about $2,000. Super simple, super easy. Just took a few hours, some good convincing, wrote up the contract, and was on my way. That's the third step that you want to take. Utilize friends and family. They're everywhere. And don't charge them a lot. If you want to charge them a lot because you're confident in yourself and you need it, go for it. But, even offer it for free. Now, once you've established your personal brand, once you've ran your own marketing ads for yourself and built up your case study, and once you've outreached to your own personal friends and family, now it's time to start reaching out to the real clientele, the real big brand owners, whether it be local, whether you're calling people from across the world, across the country, wherever, in your niche. Now, figure out your niche. You don't need to establish your niche just yet, because I know people who've gone and tried to, market those who sell products and it didn't work out. So they went to people selling services, vice versa. They do both. It's whatever. Do whatever makes you feel comfortable and what's going to get you the money, the results, and what you need. So make sure you're taking your own case study. Make sure you're taking the case study that you've built up working with your friend and family client. Show those to the clients that you outreach. That'll give you more leverage and they'll be a lot more willing to like work with you and kind of do good business. Hopefully they'll be retaining clients, and then from then it keeps going. Another thing I want to note on: when you're working with friends and family, make sure you're doing your best. Although you might be comfortable with them on a personal level, it is still business at the end of the day. So you still want to keep that level of professionalism. And the reason why I say that is because I've known my family friend pretty much my entire life. And I did such great work with them that they, requested me to their personal friends who also own businesses, and their clients who they work with who own businesses. So then I was able, just from them and keeping that level of professionalism with someone I was so comfortable with, to then getting introduced to so many more clients through, just through their word of mouth. So always keep that in mind as well. So yeah, follow those 4 easy steps. Like I said, give yourself 60 days to really lock in and really figure out what it is you're doing. Find your footing, get your ground, and along the way, keep learning, and you will sign that first official client. From then, rinse and repeat. Keep doing the same things. Keep up the consistency. Keep up the professionalism. Keep building up your brand, and you're going to make it to the top. You're going to be seeing those 10K, 20K months. It's going to start low and slow, but if you keep it up, keep up the consistency, it's going to work out in the end. So that essentially is the 4-step process that I took to sign my first client and be making these, multi-figure months. I appreciate y'all all for tuning in. Please make sure you join the Discord, follow my Instagram, come talk, come chat. If you have any questions, join in the Discord, let me know, and I'll be glad to help you guys out. And I'll see you in the next video.